Welcome to Poppy Culture episode 20. I'm Jay.
I'm Adrian.
And we're back with you again.
We're back with a beer we're going to try, the Lean and Kugel.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah, which is nice because you can actually do your Kugels right now as I'm doing it as I drink it. So it is the Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. The description is a perfect beer to celebrate the winter season. Complex malt character reveals layers of coffee and cocoa. So yeah, I'm in.
Yeah, sure.
And I love that it's brewed with pride by the Lean and Kugel family in the Chippewa Falls, native Wisconsin. So I didn't realize that the Nordic Lean and Kugels actually mated with the Chippewa Indians in Wisconsin to make beer.
Yeah, what else are you going to do in Wisconsin?
Cheese.
Well, that's the summer months. All right.
I also just realized I'm using a bottle opener for something that's a twist off.
It's all right. Nobody would have known that had you not.
You know what? I would have known, and that's enough. Okay. I would have known. Wow, you're going straight for the bottle. I was going to be classy with the glass, buddy.
No, I guess we do have glass. Yeah. Sorry.
So everyone can see the color of the beer. Were you raised in a hipster barn? You son of a bitch.
That's actually number 11. Sign number 11, you raise the barn that you have the wedding in. Play on words there.
All right, now let's try it. See, this is why I have the bottle so I can go like this with all show long. Now, this is not our only beer item we'll have today.
No, it's not.
So let's start with this one, and then we'll try the next one.
It's very light on the vanilla flavor. It's not overpowering like the
VIP.
The VIP we had a few episodes ago. I like this actually. To me it's a very traditional porter with just a little bit of extra sweetness into it.
Yep, I agree. It's lighter than I anticipated, like you had said. And if you see where the color passes through, which unfortunately you guys really can't, towards the bottom it is lighter than most porters are also.
Yeah. So that's good. So yeah. The Lean and Kugel Vanilla Porter business gets a thumbs up from me.
The Snowdrift Vanilla Porter. Yep. Okay.
All right. On to the next beer-related item.
I'm not looking forward to this.
So I was at there's a candy store in the area called Lolly and Pop. I think it's a chain, so some of you may have heard of it.
It is.
Or even been to that one. It's intense.
It is so cool. Like compared to like the candy store that's around, the brand, the candy store.
Right.
Just blows it out of the water. Blows out of the water.
So they have all kinds of like old timey candy. They have candy from around the world. So like some of you that are into some of the Japanese candy, like did you see the green tea Kit Kats?
Yes.
I love.
Asked me about those because we had them when we were at the Clash of Clans event.
Yeah.
She asked me about them. I'm like, oh wow.
So in Japan, they do some weird flavors with their Kit Kats. So they have strawberry and they have green tea and they have.
It's to be fair, it's matcha.
Sorry, yes, it's matcha. It's not green tea.
Get your head out your ass, buddy.
Whoa. So typically, the only place I've been able to find them is when I know people are coming back from Japan. I'm like, hey, bring me some. But I walked into the store and they had some, and they have an entire wall of gummy bears.
Or gummy-related products.
Yeah, including the giant gummy bear that you can buy for expensive. So all kinds of crazy stuff. But while I was there, I saw this number. This is the Jelly Belly draft flavored jelly beans in this nice decorative beer can style container. So it's just jelly beans like you're used to.
It's on a little tight, man.
Okay.
Does it screw off?
Do you need a bottle opener?
How dare you? I kind of wanted to do that now, yeah. Oh, that's why. Yeah. I was trying to lift the pop.
Oh, no.
Right there. Okay.
So yeah, these are just jelly beans that are draft beer flavored. And unfortunately, their draft beer is more along the lines of like a Bud Light. But we're going to have a couple here. So when you open up the can, we did this pre-show so that you didn't see me do this, but it's a bunch of small pouches of like 10 jelly beans. So it's not all loose in here. So that gives you the chance to just take a pack and pass it around. But
so here's what's the funny thing.
They don't taste as strong as the first time.
Because I think we were eating it with the beer.
Yeah. So the key to it is drink a beer while you eat your beer-flavored jelly beans.
And then it'll just taste like sugar. Like it right now just tastes straight like sugar.
Yeah. I get a little hint of it, but the thing to be careful with is they do leave a very strong beer scent on your breath.
Oh my God, do they?
So, like, I just ate one, and it probably smells like I drank an entire beer already.
So we tried these last time.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the accuracy of the flavor is amazing. It tastes just like a Bud Light.
Yeah.
Like identical to Bud Light. But I had maybe 4.
Yeah, if that.
Maybe 4. Went and talked to somebody before we left. And they're like, ooh, did you hit it hard? Like you were drinking. I'm like, no, oh my God, it's the jelly beans.
Yeah.
So I made him come into my office, him and his brother. And he opened them, he had a couple, and his brother was like, oh, you can smell the beer. On the flip side, they are listed as alcohol-free.
Yes.
So for those of you who like to have a little, and then do a little drinking and driving for all those who don't watch us, alcohol-free. Pop a couple of these, leave it in your car. You get pulled off, or you just, and swear, officer, I was just having these draft, jelly beans. You're going to be totally fine. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
He'll let you off, I'm sure.
Don't even worry about the fact that you might sound like Handyman. I don't know if you get that reference. You ever watch In Living Color?
Yeah, no,
All
I
right,
got it. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there with you.
Yeah, after I was just eating some jelly beans.
I'm sorry I don't have a good drunk voice. You know me. As soon as I start to get drunk, I don't get anything but sleepy. Before I get drunk, I just fall asleep.
Yeah. In your office. Yeah.
Actually, I think last time it was in the warehouse. I didn't even make it to my office.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we're drinking and snacking on. Well,
Let's not snack on those.
Those are, if you choose to, go pick up a can of that, give it to your closest friends or worst enemies. I don't know which.
To be fair, like, the flavor is uncanny. Like,
No, it is.
They did a great job with the flavor. It's just, I don't know if I want to eat a whole can of them.
No.
It's like the what was I going to say? The buttered popcorn jelly beans.
Right.
I love like 4 of those, and then I'm totally done.
Yeah. When I bought this can, I also bought a container of the Bernie Bott's every flavored beans.
Okay.
Still sitting there unopened because I thought better of it.
No.
I'm like, I don't really want to taste something that's meant to taste like earwax.
Yeah. Look, it's so funny because I went in the store after we talked about it. I realized I'm such an old man. Because everything, I'm like, oh, that chocolate looks good. Gummies, malt balls?
Right.
Oh, hey-o. Assorted flavored malt balls? Well, yeah, now I'm fucking in.
Right, yeah.
Like, I just pictured me eating malt balls, like with peanuts to the pigeons in this park. Just like, oh my God, like,
Did you get some rock candy to go with those malt balls? Because it's a pairing right there.
I have a bowl of peppermints next to my couch. I just have a peppermint every now and then.
Not butterscotch candies like Edna?
I fucking love
Or
butterscotch.
what was her name? Agnes. From season 1 of Burning Love. I just want to enjoy one of the few pleasures that I have left. And it's just amazing to me that you would try to deprive me of my butterscotch candies.
I'm not gonna lie, I fucking love butterscotch. And you know those squishy dinner mints? They're not hard mints, but they're kind of chalky.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think they're actually called dinner mints.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they're called. But the Seas candy version, modern, so good.
No, okay, so Christmas just happened recently. I know that you guys all know we celebrated Kwanzaa this year instead, but
Solidarity.
I have a holiday sock hung at work. I don't know what I'm allowed to call it anymore. But there's candy gets thrown in there. And I had...
Wait a minute. Is it still up at your work?
Oh, no.
Okay.
The candy got transferred into my drawer, and I've been snacking
Understood.
on it ever since. But in there was some of those Brock's candies. Do you remember those?
Yes. Which one, though? There was flavored Brock's.
Well, no. So, I mean, they had a couple different varieties. They're the ones that do, like, the Neapolitan candy.
Yep.
And then they...
Just the plain peppermint.
Right. And they do the spearmint. They do the... They do some of the butterscotch also.
Yeah, I'm on board with you. I know.
But they have a couple of them that are kind of in the same realm as the Neapolitan ones, where it's kind of like a cube that's soft-ish.
I'm not familiar with
Okay,
this
well,
one.
okay. The Neapolitan falls into the same category. It's the cube, right?
Oh, no, I know which one you're talking about. It's
Yeah.
like white, I think, with like a red center.
Yeah, they've got that.
Yes,
they've got,
I know which ones you're talking about. Okay.
Hardest fucking candy to unwrap, right?
Because the wrapper like goes halfway into the candy itself, and
So
it melds into one.
You go to unwrap it, and then the wrapper starts ripping, and you're like
Yep.
peeling off little bits off.
It's not worth it, man. Just fucking throw it away.
At some point, I'm like, how much is this plastic going to hurt me? And I just toss it in my mouth. But
I used to know a guy who Starburst, same thing. Like every now and then he wouldn't want to open the Starburst. Just, fuck it. I would eat the wrapper with the Starburst. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying he used to do it.
All right.
Like I'm just throwing it out there. Let's keep going on to the candy news because now apparently this is a new segment. Candy news.
Have you had Haichu?
No, I was going to talk about the Cadbury thing. Tell me about Haichu.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the Cadbury. So Haichu is, I think it's an Asian style version of like a Starburst.
Yeah, I know what it is. We know about the Daiso.
Yeah, they have like 7 different varieties of them in the lollipops. I kind of wanted to try them all, but
they're a mix between Starburst and Now and Later.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. They're about the same amount of flavors as Starburst, and somewhere between the
consistency.
Because those Now and Laters piss me off. Because I always pop in my mouth expecting to eat them like a Starburst. I'm just okay. I'm just gonna gum this one.
That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Just work through it. Eventually, it's gonna just dissolve into something edible. Cadbury
Try
eggs.
to enjoy it now and eventually swallow it later.
Fucking Cadbury eggs.
Yeah, Cadbury eggs. All right, here we go.
I have to. My Easter is over. Look at this whole Resurrection of Christ thing. Second in my book to the fucking Cadbury egg. And now Jesus gets top billing on Easter for me. Like, it's what it is, man.
Yeah, because it's sure as hell not going to be Peeps.
No.
Fucking Peeps.
This bullshit. They no longer are making Cadbury eggs in the fashion that they've made them for.
Yeah. So Kraft, the conglomerate they purchased Cadbury a couple years ago, and they've now changed the recipe.
And changed where it's being made.
Yes.
Ugh.
Traditionally, Cadbury, their eggs and their chocolate bars have always been made with what they call dairy milk.
In Cadbury, England.
Right. Somebody somewhere says, hey, we can get cheaper chocolate and make it somewhere else. So we're going to do that. So now the Cadbury egg is not the Cadbury egg anymore.
I think it's going to be made in California, which is just like England. Rainy, gloomy, bad teeth. It's England.
It's an island.
On top of that, they're not even putting 6 in the mini container anymore. Now it's 5.
And they're charging almost the same price.
No, this is bullshit. Easter is ruined.
Yeah.
Luckily, there is a saving grace here, my friend. I have in my freezer like 10 Cadbury cream eggs.
Oh, jeez.
That every now and then I will defrost one and eat one. Now, I got 10 left, man. I have to.
You gotta.
I got a ration.
Yeah.
I might eBay 2 or 3 of them.
I was gonna say you could probably get a decent amount of money for an original recipe Cadbury egg.
At a certain point, some like drug is gonna come up like, I will split your dick for an egg right now, man.
Do you remember when Twinkies got discontinued for a week?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like they were for $300-$400 on eBay for a box.
Cadbury eggs, you probably get close to $1,000 for a container of those.
All right, now we're talking. Speaking of talking, let's talk some TV.
Okay, let's do it.
What do you want?
So I am watching Longmire.
Oh.
I'm 7 episodes into Longmire, and I don't remember. I don't think I talked about this.
Please
last
call
week.
it by its proper name.
Okay.
CSI Kansas.
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah. So Longmire. No, that's
it's
not.
Wisconsin.
Yeah. It's damn near the same thing, just more snow. So Longmire was a show that was on ABC, or not ABC, AMC for 3 seasons. It got let go of AMC, and now Netflix is going to make the 4th season, which is probably going to be shit, because that's...
Arrested Development Syndrome.
Netflix makes some really good original programming. They don't continue programming very well.
I just don't get that concept. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead.
Different writers. That's all I can think of. But so Longmire, I was talking to Adrian about it the other day, and the best way I can describe it is CSI Wyoming. Because it is. It's a police procedural. It follows the sheriff's office in this county, Abaroka County in Wyoming, and all the different murders and such that happen there, and they're trying to figure out who done it.
I feel like it's who done did it.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm just curious who done did this.
And there is some cowboys in there, so you get some of that talk.
Wasn't one of the murderers once a bear?
Yes. So I think it was like the 3rd episode. They find a body on the side of a mountain. Somebody's out there, whatever. And they're like, I think it was a bear. So the murder suspect is seriously a bear. I mean, where else are you going to get that? That's TV for you. Spoiler, at the end of the episode, it turns out that somebody actually tied the guy up and wrapped flank steak around him to attract a bear. also awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're gonna go,
Yeah.
it's very clear. If I have cancer, that is how I want to go.
Yeah. And that was all to cover up a meth smuggling operation at the local prison, which ingeniously they were making meth greeting cards. So the greeting card had meth soaked into it or in it somehow. So
like the ink was the meth.
I think it was the paper.
Okay.
It was actually like in the paper. Like maybe I'm not pro at meth. I'm sure it has a liquid form.
I know you've been amateuring a little.
Yeah.
A petty dabbler of meth.
Right. Yeah. I think it had some sort of liquid state, so I don't know if they were soaking the cards into it. But essentially, they would write greeting cards to the inmates, and the inmates would get it, and they'd rip off a corner and eat the greeting card, and that's how they'd get their meth. So somebody that was involved in it wanted out, and they beat him, tied him up, tied flake steaks around him, and fed him to a bear. So Longmire, it's great. I love it.
If any of you are more than a petty dabbler, but not quite cartel level meth, shoot us an email, because if that's possible, I know a guy who might be interested in making a little side cash.
Right.
Okay. Just between us. Not go telling people about this. This is a private matter, guys.
Right.
All right.
All right. What have you been watching?
I've decided what I'm no longer going to be watching.
All Gordon Ramsay shows?
I will say your full name on air.
Whoa. No.
All right, then.
Okay.
How dare you?
Gordon Ramsay's a god.
That's right. No, I'm dropping Mulaney.
What the hell is Mulaney?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this?
We've talked about this before because I
Okay.
was teetering. I'm out.
Okay.
Out. It's the new version of Seinfeld. John Mulaney is
Yes.
John Mulaney, his stand-up is really funny. In fact, I was in San Diego Comic-Con 2014 with Russell.
Right.
And you know how much he loves stand-up comedy.
Okay.
Well, we shared a room, so guess what we watched at night?
Nice.
Yes, because he had access to my Netflix account that was hooked up to the TV.
Got it.
So we watched a couple of Mulaney stand-ups, and it was really funny. So when I saw he was getting his show, I was like, oh, all right. No. No. So it's him, he is the Jewiest, gayest, straight white kid in the world.
Oh.
To be fair, he describes himself this way, so I'm not being I'm not saying I'm not racist. I'm saying I'm not being racist right now. He describes himself that way. So it's him, his black comedic roommate called Motif,
Right.
their female roommate Jane, who's a personal trainer. So the three of them living together.
Okay.
So essentially you have Seinfeld, Elaine, and George.
Yeah.
Their crazy neighbor across the hall is Oscar, who is played by an older gentleman. His name is slipping me all of a sudden, but he's an old homosexual guy living in New York who's into like drugs and free love and like all that kind of stuff. And then none of them do drugs, but there's always a drug dealer around named Andre who hangs out with them that none of them like.
Okay.
Mulaney writes comedy for a character named Luke Cannon, played by Martin Short, and that's the show. It started off mediocre. It went to bad. An episode picked up to funny, and now it's just worse. And I'm out. I'm done. Can't do it anymore. So
Mulaney's out.
cut it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anything else you're watching?
So I'll let you take the drink of that before you do a spit take when I say this. But we have been watching The Voice. Yeah.
If you have any ability to edit video and want to co-host in the Seattle area, feel free to drop me a line at popandculturepodcast@gmail.com.
Which I'll go delete.
Why are you watching The Voice?
So here's the thing. I talked, it's probably 2 months ago now. I spent a while watching YouTube videos of all the really good talent show auditions. Not any of the shitty ones that people normally watch and make fun of, but some of the good ones, just because I want to see some people that are actually talented.
Okay.
A lot of the really good vocal ones, singing ones, were The Voice. So I was like, okay, let me watch an episode of this, see what it's about, because I had never watched it before. One of the things that I appreciate about The Voice is all you see is the good talent. They don't show you all these terrible auditions for 2 weeks before the show starts.
Okay.
Which I kind of appreciate because I'm like, I'd rather not watch a show that's purely based on making fun of people.
Stephen Hung got his popularity because
He was so terrible.
Right.
Yes. So I started watching it, and it's actually really interesting. So on this most recent season, the judges were Blake Shelton, Adam Levine, Gwen Stefani, and Pharrell Williams.
Yeah, they're the ones who are the judges for this whole season.
For this season.
Yeah.
But in prior seasons, Adam and Blake are the only ones that have done all 7 seasons.
Okay.
The middle 2 chairs change every couple seasons.
Yeah, CeeLo was in it for a little while.
Yeah, and then there was a huge. He got in a fight with Christina or something. I don't know. But one of the things I appreciate about the show is even when somebody, every time somebody performs, all 4 judges give them feedback, and it's almost always positive feedback.
Okay.
It's never like a Simon Cowell, like that was bloody terrible, and you should go jump off a bridge and whatever. So it's actually a show that's really encouraging to the contestants, and they always say, "This is something you need to work on. Come back next season."
So they do the compliment sandwich. You were good here. Work on this. Finish it off. And
Yeah,
okay.
it's a good call right there, the compliment sandwich.
Yeah. Thank you.
So no, and it's I'm huge into music, so seeing these people and seeing them have to do songs that they don't normally do and stretching, it's kind of interesting to me. So if I was gonna watch a talent show, that's the one I would want to watch because it's, like I said, it's positive and entertaining.
I watch Top Chef, which is a culinary competition challenge show.
Yeah.
So I don't have much room to knock you on that. I was surprised when you said it, but it's true. You do like music more than I do. So, okay. I can see that.
Okay.
I can see that. But seriously though, email me if you're interested. Okay.
Okay, are you watching anything else on TV or you got any movies you want to talk about?
Binging Key and Peele.
Okay.
I will talk about a movie. It's a current movie. You may have heard of it before. It's called From Russia with Love. It's one of the new...
It's that new, yeah, it's just...
that new James Bond kid.
Right. Yeah.
Sean Connery.
I hear that series is... they don't know if it's going to last.
It's only the second one in the season.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, From Russia with Love is the second James Bond movie out of 24. And I know it's out of 24. Spectre will be 24, I should say. Because guess who got the Blu-ray box set from Best Buy? I have this guy.
All 23 of them?
Yes!
Oh, geez.
Yes! So excited. So, for those of you who don't know, I love me some Bond.
Yeah.
Something fierce. I've seen every movie. I have them all on DVD. But this is the Blu-ray set.
Right.
With special editions and features and what. And it was on crazy-ass sale.
Okay.
Like, crazy sale. So I was like, I gotta jump on this. Like, it was the cost of what I spent 1 week worth of comics kind of sale.
Okay.
Okay, so $50.
Yeah.
So I'm like, nope, I'm in. Bought it.
So I tried to... I've seen most of the Bond movies because every year there's 24 days of Bond or whatever.
Thanks, you Spike TV.
Yeah. So about 2 years ago, I was like, I want to make sure I've seen all of them.
Okay.
So I added them all to my Netflix queue because they were all on Instant Play at the time.
Okay.
Those are one of the slipperiest series of movies ever for on demand. Because it'll literally be, they'll be on there 1 month, and then they'll be gone the next month, and then half of them come, and those go away, and then another set, and you can never get them all there. So
the problem with the Bond movies is they are very, very time critical.
Right.
What I mean by that is, if it's made in the 60s, that movie is super 60s. If it's made in the 70s, it's super 70s. Like, Moonraker came out right after around the Star Wars time, so they kind of made the Bond sci-fi to compete with. So they are very much timepieces. So going through it, it's a lot of fun because you can, like, you watch it, you're like, yeah, this is definitely made in 1963, and there you go. And this is it. I love them, though. I love the Bond movies. I love the serious ones that with Daniel Craig. I like the more lighthearted Roger Larrabee ones. Like, I love them all. So,
Roger Larrabee?
What'd I say?
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's not right.
You're thinking George Lazenby
Thank you.
or Roger Moore.
Look it. I will apologize now. Because once again,
I'm sorry.
No,
which one of us just claimed to be a giant Bond fan?
I was about to say, this is totally on me because I made the epic mistake. I need to stop making before shows, and I'm just so tired because I ate so much carbs and just fatty food.
So, and to be fair, the last 2 shows we have gone out and ate beforehand with another person. who obviously is not here on the show,
And I love him so much. He's a dear friend of ours.
but he doesn't have to then be on camera. So he can eat whatever he wants, go pass out in the backseat of his car. No harm, no foul.
No, which is true. We eat disgusting amounts of food, and then he just goes home and sleeps.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and I'm here. I'm just like, I think it was that third order of sliders.
Yeah.
Or the salted caramel fries. We had French fries that were salted caramel sweet potato
So this is what was on the table in front of us. There was 2 pork sliders, 4 steak sliders.
No, 4 meatloaf sliders.
Or sorry, 4 meatloaf sliders.
A plate of
steak bites. A plate of salted caramel sweet potato fries.
Yeah, that's right.
On all the plates of sliders, there was also shoestring fries.
Yeah, that's right.
There was a thing of spinach and artichoke dip.
Yeah, there was something else.
There was.
Steak bites. Like, I'm going through everything. They cleared out some plates in the meantime. On top of the whiskey we had.
Right, you and I each had a whiskey. He had a porter, which was delicious.
Yeah, that was a good porter. So here's the thing. Like yesterday, we did the exact same thing. We went to Claim Jumpers. It's the happy hour that gets you. It's the fucking happy hour. So we get there early before he shows up. So I'm all like, let me go order wings. The guy was like, let me get a mini pizza. Okay, wings is like 8 wings, right? And then he shows up. He's like, let's get the spinach artichoke dip and let's get these French fries. Oh, Irish nachos. So they're nachos with potato with French fries instead of chips,
Right.
And loaded skins. Oh no, thank you. We finish all that, and he's like, let's get 3 Widowmaker burgers too.
Oh, God.
For those of you who are not familiar with a Widowmaker burger, it's a 1/3 pound of ground beef, 4 pieces of bacon, a fried onion ring, barbecue sauce, and half an avocado with lettuce, tomato. It was so much food.
So we're going to rename the show to GluttonCast.
I'm just thinking about it. And the worst part is I'm not hungry, but I'm like, you know what, though?
You go for some more right now?
I mean, it was a good burger. It was a good burger. So, yes, I apologize. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, so George Lazenby or Roger Moore. We don't know which one.
No, George Lazenby had the more...
The Roger Moore.
I would... Boo.
I know. That was a cheap shot.
The more comedic kind of... meant to be a little more lighthearted Bonds. Yeah. Especially compared to Daniel Craig.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I'm done.
Okay.
So done.
I did watch 2 movies. So
hey!
I'll talk about those real quick. The first one I will just barely talk about, and that was Bunny Whipped, which sounds a lot more like a Playboy movie than it actually is.
It was not the Hugh Hefner documentary?
No.
But okay,
that's Whipping Bunnies.
That is a great name for the,
right?
for the name, though.
Yeah.
All right.
No, this was some low-budget indie movie about a guy who was a sports writer. And then there was... I don't even understand how it all worked. There was a...
you did watch it,
I
though,
did.
right?
But,
okay.
So he was a sports writer. He also reviewed music. So he gave this big rap star a terrible review, and the guy got all pissed off.
Yep.
And he's like, I need more publicity. And then there was this other white rapper, kind of like an Eminem, who was also popular. So the first rapper killed the other rapper, and the sports writer, music reviewer, whatever, became the Whip. That was his superhero alter identity. He had no superpowers.
Wait, so he was a rapper?
No, this guy was a writer.
Okay.
And he became the Whip to try to bring down the rapper that killed the other and it was horrible.
Because don't rappers call Mercedes-Benz whips?
All cars are whips.
Okay. I'm sorry, whips?
Whips.
Like the cool whip?
Miracle Whip.
Okay.
In fact, Kanye West, for whatever, take him as he is, he has a line in one of his songs talking about a car, and he says, it's a mayonnaise-colored Mercedes. Yeah, I push miracle whips.
No. Boo.
I thought it was kind of clever.
Boo.
All right. So that was Bunny Whipped. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
What's the other one you watched?
Scott.
I'm sorry. Did you say Spot? Hold on. Did you watch Spot Pilgrim Run? Did Spot Pilgrim Run, Scott Run?
Yes.
Shut up, and you insulted me with my slip up.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Do you want to just, re-record?
No, we're good.
Okay.
I think I need some more beer.
There it is.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
I've heard so many shitty reviews of this movie.
So good.
so much that I went into it thinking it's going to be a terrible movie. And I think that's why I was so genuinely surprised that I actually enjoyed it. Michael Cera is Michael Cera in the movie. He walks on camera. I'm like, what up? I'm Michael Cera.
Like he only has one role, and that's himself.
Yeah. I think they dub over in the movies I think on screen they just say Michael, and then in post production they go in and put in whatever the character's name is. Yeah. That way you just have to be like, what?
That's why nobody ever calls them by name on camera. It's always the back of their heads.
Exactly.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. It was just such a campy, funny movie to me. One of the scenes that I laughed the hardest is so he's in the beginning of the movie. He's like, I'm dating a 17-year-old girl. Oh, by the way, she's Asian.
Yeah, nice.
And goes to a Catholic school, so she wears the uniform. I'm like, well, there's all three of the male fantasies right there. But at some point, like halfway through the movie, she comes and knocks on the door to the apartment that he lives in, and his roommate is going to answer the door, and he's like, I'm not here. His roommate opens the door wide enough so that you see him, and then he runs off scene, and the roommate kind of closes the door a little so you can't see him. And his roommate's like, oh, no, sorry, he's not here. And she's like, oh, really? And then you see him in the background dive through the window, which is like 8 feet up on the wall. It's one of those like small windows. Sorry.
I love how much you're enjoying this.
If you have not seen the movie, at least figure out a way to watch that clip, because that to me is the funniest clip in the entire movie.
Look at him.
Anyways, very funny movie. Yeah, super cheesy, obviously, because that's what it's meant to be.
Very over the top.
But
very
graphically, it's amazing. Like, the visual effects on it are fantastic. You can tell that's where most of their budget went. It wasn't in the quality actors. It was in the visual.
And a couple cameos you don't expect.
Such as?
Thomas Jane.
I didn't realize
The Punisher.
Where was he?
He was one of the vegan police.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's why I like the cameo. Because, like, and Brandon Roth was in it.
Yeah.
Which, at the time, he was just coming down off the Superman high. And then you had Chris Evans was in it. Like...
Right.
Really well. Like, I like that movie.
Yeah.
And
so yeah,
it's
I
based
watched.
off the indie comic, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
I hear I've never read the comic. I hear it's very loosely based off of it.
You know what? Actually,
or very compressed of something.
Yeah, it's very compressed. Comixology has the first volume for free. At least they did a couple months ago.
I might have to look into that.
There you go. Speaking of things on Comixology and comic book related information.
Ooh. Oh, wait. What? First, I have a game I need to talk about.
Are you going to talk about...
Oh, I am.
Okay.
Because I have a story to tell.
Is this about how you just beat me? Because I don't...
No, not that game.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
The other game. Okay. So I got a new tablet the other day. I messed around on it, and I'm looking through the App Store. I'm like, oh, what do they have? Whatever. And I find out that there's a mobile version of SimCity.
Yes.
Which I was huge into all the Sim games back in the day. I played SimCity and SimCity 2000. I played Sim Tower. I played Sim Town.
Did you do a Sim Coaster? Or was it Roller Coaster Tycoon?
No, that's Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Okay.
Which I did try. And Mall Tycoon. Yeah, right?
Oh, so did you say Mall Tycoon?
There's, as in shopping mall. Oh. And it was a demo. I don't know. So I'm playing this sim game, and I downloaded it. It was like 2 nights ago, and I lose like 4 hours into this game because that's what you do. You're like, oh, I need to put this building here, and I need to do this, and I need to do that, and da. So I sent Adrian a message the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, so I downloaded the SimCity game for my tablet, which I found out they have, and I lost like 4 hours out of it. And he's like, oh, I've never played.
Nope.
And I'm like, you've never played the tablet version, or you've never played SimCity at all?
Period.
He says he's never played SimCity at all.
Period.
And I'm like, what the fuck was wrong with your childhood?
How dare you? I grew up on console games.
They had SimCity versions for all the consoles.
Yeah, I was playing stuff like Albert Odyssey, Legend of Zelda, Super Mario. I was a platform gamer as a child.
Okay.
You're right. I did not play The Sims. Yeah. And
not The Sims. I don't care about The Sims.
SimCity. No, I never played SimCity.
All right. Well. Anyways, for those of you out there that are looking for a fun game to play on your phone or your tablet, get SimCity Build It.
Was this whole segment just to throw me under the bus?
Absolutely. That was all I wanted to do. So, comics.
No, Etsu. Unbelievable. So yeah, comic books.
Yes.
Amazing X-Men, number 15. X-Force, number 14. Avengers 34.2 and Avengers 40. That's right, you heard that math right. 34.2 and 40. Came out the same day.
Goddamn Marvel.
Cyclops, Spider-Verse, Nightcrawler, Daredevil, Justice League United, World's End, Future's End, Green Lantern Corps, Rat Queen Special Edition, and the ones I will be talking about if we get around to it, Grayson, but for sure, Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars. I love you. Your turn, buddy.
So when I was at my shop today,
Yeah.
they put a limit on how many copies of Star Wars people could purchase.
I believe it, because today is the official Star Wars launch party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a guy that was like, how many copies can I buy? And the shop was, you can buy one of the regular covers and one of the variant covers, and that's it.
Damn right. Because it's the first time it's come back to the House of Ideas in a long, long time.
I hope they have an idea of what to do with it.
Well, this first issue definitely delivered. But that'll be part of my review.
Okay. For me, I read Batman Eternal, number 41. We're 41 weeks into this shit.
Yeah, that means there are only, do math,
11.
11 left.
I also got Grayson number 6. I also got Template number 1. And then I got Green Lantern Corps 38. And then, if time allows, I will be reviewing Lazarus 14, but I will definitely be talking about Jupiter's Legacy number 5.
Let's get ourselves. Time is not going to allow.
No.
We did a very heavy candy segment. Seriously, though.
It was pretty sweet, though, right?
Hey-o. Oh, there it is. Good job, buddy. No, but seriously, the mint chocolate malt balls. Ugh. So good. Star Wars. Okay. So for those of you who are not familiar, this takes place in a long ago in a galaxy far, far away. And I was so excited when I got this. I love Star Wars. So much that, ironically, yesterday, I was wearing one of my 5 Star Wars shirts. Yeah, I own 5 of them. I had my hoodie on, as I tend to wear. And a buddy of mine... Oh, yeah, it is a double-sized beast.
Okay. Oh, with John Cassaday artwork.
Yeah, and just fair and right. So, I mean, anyway, so I'm wearing my hoodie, as I tend to wear. And we were playing games, and he's like, I don't remember. Are you Trek or Wars? And I'm just like, shh, how dare you? Obviously sporting the Star Wars shirt underneath. So I'm super excited this came out. I love the intro. The very first page just says, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And then just the Star Wars splash. Just like the movie. And then the rolling credits as the next page.
Nice.
And just like all the movies, a ship slowly coming through and crossing. Hooked. I was so excited.
And it doesn't matter what comes after those first 4 pages. You're hooked. It could be total shit for the others.
No, that's not true. Because unfortunately, there are a lot of Star Wars titles out that Dark Horse produced that were shit.
Yeah.
So, to be fair, this portion, I'd say about 8 pages, all solicitations for the other Star Wars titles that Marvel's releasing.
Okay.
Darth Vader, written by Kieran Gillen, a couple of pages of that. And then also Princess Leia, which is going to be written by Mark Waid, with art by Terry Dodson.
So in the Darth Vader comic, are we going to find out that he's got a long-lost brother?
I sure hope. Wait, Luke has another brother?
No.
Darth Vader has a
Anakin.
brother?
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Isn't that what happened in Iron Man? Oh, no, that wasn't Kieran Gillen.
It was Kieran Gillen, not Karen Gillen, and you are...
I said Kieran. I said Kieran.
Why? We were talking about something happy, enjoy... You're that asshole who at a wedding brings up the ex-girlfriend.
No.
Why would you ruin a happy moment like this with that?
So what happened in the book?
Oh, let me tell you.
All right.
Yeah, it was really good. So the whole series takes place after New Hope, before Empire Strikes Back. All 3 of the books do.
Okay. So what's Jar Jar up to?
Jar Jar is not to be seen.
Good.
Bwomp, bwomp. So I'm unsure of this point how much of those first 3 movies are actually going to come into effect.
Good.
In the next ones.
That's fine with me.
Marvel has not said that they're not canon that I remember. They may have. I don't remember. But I remember J.J. Abrams making a point to say that they are not going to be touched on. Totally fine with that. Okay? So this takes place right after Alderaan. And then the Star the Death Star getting blown up. They take place. They get Han, Luke, and Leia smuggle onto the board to fight some Republic scum. To get through the negotiator, find out they have some slaves that they've been using to generate. It's a weapons facility that they're at. So they go through. Got a lightsaber battle, which is sick. He does a great job writing Han. He writes Luke to be a little bit more of a badass than he should be at this point. He really doesn't hit this level. They're writing Luke as if Empire was over and before Return. But it takes place after New Hope. So then, of course, the negotiator for the Republic shows up, and it's none other than Darth Vader. Who, in the movies, we didn't have the technology then. He wasn't you knew he was powerful in the movies, but you never saw him got to do any badass things because they just didn't have the ability. So in here, Chewbacca takes a shot at him from a building far away, senses it, deflects it, uses his own stormtroopers as guards to make sure he doesn't get hit by bullets, using the Force to raise them. And then from that far away, shakes the foundation of the building Chewbacca's on that he has to bail.
So he's essentially Magneto.
He is an awesome Magneto. In fact, I'm pretty sure Darth Vader could take down Magneto. I'm just saying. So the book ends with Luke getting Obi-Wan, because Obi-Wan's dead, obviously telling him, Luke. And Luke's still he's not used to the Force yet and how to speak to people beyond it. So he's like, listen to me, Luke. And he's like, I don't understand. What are you saying? And it's just run. And there's Vader. So, Jason Aaron, I love you. John Cassidy, you did a great job. I'm really looking forward to this. I have one caveat, though. And it's something we discussed earlier today. Here's the problem with the movies, We have the 3 movies already made. So we know what happens after this comic book series. So obviously we know nobody's going to die. We know this and that. But we are building a whole foundation of stories of between Luke and Vader and all these other things that if they actually had that kind of relationship, Empire would be a different type of movie. So you do have to take these kind of with a grain of salt. Same way with the novels. The novels really expand the universe. Some of them do a very poor job because they make all this stuff up in the novels that just cannot come to fruition when it comes to the movie. So they're just by the wayside. And some that do a great job enhancing it without actually... They add backstory and foreground, but they don't actually add new things that aren't affected in the movies. So, with that said, super looking forward to all 3.
Fantastic.
Super stoked.
Sorry, all 3? You mean all 3 titles?
All 3 titles. Yeah, all 3 titles.
There's more than 3 issues to this, right?
No. But they came out, I think there was 5 variant covers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they were Scotty Young, like Terry Dotson, a couple big names for cover work. Yep. Awesome. Your turn.
So I'm going to talk about Jupiter's Legacy, which is all the way up to issue number 5.
Which, to be fair, that dude kind of looks like Darth Vader.
A little bit.
Got the black, the cape, the lightsaber.
He looks like Orlando Bloom as
Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he was cast instead of Hayden Christensen?
Anyways.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So, funny thing about Jupiter's Legacy. I told you earlier that I had this book, and you're like, I've never heard you talk about that book.
Not once.
Here's why. Jupiter's Legacy number 1, Lazarus number 1, came out on the same day. Lazarus is now up to issue 14, and it only comes out every 5 weeks. It doesn't come out once a month. It comes out every 5 weeks. So you can see that maybe Jupiter's Legacy isn't coming out regularly.
A little behind.
I want to say the first 3 books came out monthly, and then it was 8 months before the next issue came out, and it's been about another 8 months since.
I'll be honest with you. Seeing the name Frank Quietly tells me I will never touch that book.
Do you not like Frank Quietly?
I refuse to read his work.
Why is that?
Because I can't stand his art. I just cannot stand his art. He burned me too badly in Batman and Robin. It was bad, man. Like when Batman's suit was kind of hanging off him, and his mask wasn't even tight, and you could see the side of his cheeks, and it was bad. Didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Sorry, I didn't mean to stomp.
No.
Go ahead. Carry on.
Sorry.
I'm gonna shut up.
Here's the premise behind Jupiter's Legacy. There was a group of, I think they were archaeologists, but they discovered this island that essentially has a temple in it that when they enter the temple, they get superpowers.
Okay.
So I think Temple of Sidorak or Rock of Eternity for Shazam, Captain Marvel, whatever we're calling them
I got
these
what
days.
you're saying.
Yeah. So they emerge with superpowers, and they go out and they essentially bring peace to the world. And then they have kids, and their kids get superpowers also. But since there's not really much for the kids to go do because all the bad guys are gone, the kids pretty much just become celebrities. And they're like Paris Hilton celebrities. They're famous for being famous. They're
Sure.
not really doing anything. Within this group, there's a husband and a wife, and I want to say the wife's brother. I can't remember if it was the husband and the guy were brothers. Anyways, there's a relation there. The one guy who's married, he's the leader of the group. Well, the brother-in-law, whoever he is, decides he doesn't like that guy anymore. Convinces the leader's son, who also has superpowers, that his dad doesn't really love him and all this stuff, and the son goes and kills the dad.
Okay.
That shifts the entire power. So now this the uncle is kind of pulling the strings behind the son, or behind the guy that killed his dad, kind of using him as like a puppet, whatever. And they establish this like peacekeeping agency that's not really altruistic and stuff like that. All the rest of the kids go into hiding. They end up killing all the adults, and all the rest of the kids go into hiding. The superpowered kids.
Got it.
And that's what happened in issue 4. That was 1 through 4. 5 starts out with the daughter of the main superhero that got killed. Her and her husband and their son are in Australia now. Their son also has superpowers, and he's using them in secret. So he's going out and he's like saving people or whatever. He's also building a scanner on the moon that can detect people with the superpowers.
What is this kid's superpower?
Everything.
Okay, cool.
Flight, strength, intelligence, all of that.
Okay.
They haven't really delved into it. This is, I think, only the second time we've seen him. I think we saw him as a baby in issue 4. But, I mean, the interior art, I don't know. This is Frank Quietly, so you probably don't enjoy it too much.
I'm not, and it's a bummer because I love the premise of what you're saying. It sounds awesome.
So this is the kid. He, like I said, he flies up to the moon. He's been sneaking away at school lunch break to go build this thing on the moon. He's timed it. He's like, I can get to the moon and back in 19 minutes. That gives me about 5 minutes to work on this a day, and all this stuff. So the mom's like, look, you can't be out here because if your uncle finds you, we're all in trouble.
Right. So she goes to the moon to talk to him.
Yeah. And then you find out that...
So Vader's the uncle.
Yeah.
He's even got the super villain mustache.
Yeah, no, it's bad. You find out that kids at school, at least 1 or 2 of the kids, know that he's got superpowers because he's on the school bus on the way home, and a girl comes up to him and is like, look, there's people drowning. You need to go save them. And he's like, what are you talking about? She's like, I sit next to you. I pay attention. I know that every time something bad happens on the news, you disappear with some stupid excuse, and then as soon as trouble clears up, you come back, and you're like, oh, I'm good now.
So essentially the Clark Kent.
Exactly. And he even talks about he intentionally makes himself seem like a bumbling idiot so people don't really pay attention. He intentionally doesn't have friends so that nobody notices when he leaves, so that he doesn't have to sit with people at lunch and that sort of thing. So this girl's like, there's people are drowning, you gotta go save them. Well, he's like, all right, I'll go do it. And he goes to the site where these people are drowning. Turns out it's a trap. His uncle had picked him up on one of the satellites when he went to the moon. I was like, I'm gonna get you here and figure out what's going on. So the uncle's now like, I'm gonna kill you, whatever. And then all of a sudden, the mom shows up, and she's like, don't fucking touch my son, I'll kill you. And then...
so the dad has no superpowers.
He does also. So
okay.
The mom and the dad are both pretending to be regular people living in Australia.
Got it.
Stay off the grid. She works in a factory, he's a janitor. So she hears her son cry for help. She shoots over there. All of a sudden, she's on the news, so people at the dad's factory are like, isn't that your wife? And he's like, oh, well, shit, I better go too. So he shows up. They're beating up the uncle, and it pretty much ends with them saying, well, shit, we're outed now. We got to be out and
proud.
Yeah. Anyway, so this was the end of the first story arc. 5 issues. It took a year and a half.
It sounds super entertaining. I super like the premise. I can't get behind Quietly's artwork, but I mean, I'm interested to see what happens for sure.
Yeah. I really wish this was something that came out on a regular basis. You guys would have heard me talk about it a lot more if it did. Because when it comes out for me, it's right up there on par with Lazarus. Like they're two of the best books that I'm reading right now. But it comes out once every 8 months.
Right, you get to read it very often.
And my friend Chris was reading this one along with me. And I sent him a message today when I noticed it was coming out before I went down to the shop. And I'm like, hey, did you see new issue of Jupiter's Legacy came out? He's like, yeah, new year, new issue. I'm like, hey, if they put out one a year and it's fantastic, I would much rather have that than 12 in a year that all suck.
Leave Green Lantern out of this. We've spent too much time talking about it.
I didn't throw that out there. You did.
You did.
Anyways, so that was my book of the week.
Awesome. Hey, guys, thanks. Again, we're back to our regular schedule. I have an idea. Next week, let's not go have dinner with him.
An apple?
Mmm.
Maybe.
It'll keep the doctor away.
There you go.
Have a nice week.
See ya.